Hello, hello, hello. It's your new day with Donna Reiners and Dr. Kami Owen, where we solve all the world's problems, or maybe just one. And maybe it's yours. In our 30 minutes, we talk about your emotions and mind and how they tie into your body and spirit. We want you to renew and restore yourself in a world that wants you crazy. And sometimes we even talk about money. Introducing your hosts, Donna Reiners and Dr. Kami Owen. Hello, hello, hello. This is Donna and
Dr. Kami.
yes, she's the respectful one. I'm the crazy one, but actually she's crazy.
I'm pretty crazy.
So we're just gonna roll with the flow. So this is the scoop. So we talked about some of this, but we're gonna go in a different direction. So when I was in my mom's womb, my sisters did not want me. They called my dad a dirty old man for knocking up mom at 39 years old. So I literally had this frequency of, nobody likes me. That was a beginning of me deciding not to like me, because that was a belief system that was coming into me, even though I believe I just came from God anyway, but still. And then I get born early. I'm hooked up to all these tubes, and all these tubes are life-saving for me. They're life-saving. I would have died without those tubes that gave me life. And so these people cared for me. And then I'm born, I'm living my life, and really, truly, I attract nothing but people that want to hurt me. I attract people that want to make fun of me. I attract verbal abuse. I attract physical abuse. I just attracted a lot of things. Why am I saying attracted? Because honestly, I think as you grow up and you grow onward and you mature and you develop that place inside of you that wasn't loved, and you realize that love is really the answer, and you start loving you realize you can't ever shift blame to somebody else for anything. And that now and I'm going to caveat that with, even when I was like 5 years old, I had an experience where somebody fondled me in an inappropriate way. I don't know if they raped me or not. I have no idea, but it was definitely inappropriate. Smothered with a pillow and all sorts of things. And so, did I attract that? I can't tell you I did it or not, but this is what I know. I know that my response to that on the inside, that was tainted, that basically turned into a point of tainted love inside me, that place of being tainted from a little girl's point continued to attract corruption toward me. I didn't attract people to steal. It wasn't that kind of corruption. It was more feeling corruption. It's interesting because in the Bible it talks about that there's a seed of an incorruptible seed. But yet I could only see myself as tainted. And as you grow up and you grow on, you put a smile on your face. Nobody knows you feel tainted inside. And I know I've got some of your stories. I know some of you are going, yeah, I feel like that right now. You have your smile on, but you go to work and you do all your stuff, but on the inside you feel like you've rejected you, so everybody else has rejected you. Or you can't get that job you want, it doesn't pay enough, or you can't seem to break through all these things. And most of it has to do with self-belief, really. I think inside I felt like a victim, even though I would have never said that I blamed anybody for why I was, until moving forward in life. And I'm going to give you one little thingy in there. When I was a little girl, this is what I thought was a divine part. See, I really believe that we have an incorruptible seed inside of us. Yeah, I'm going there. I believe we're all born with incorruptible seed, not corruptible seed. And I know some of you watching is going, my religious head don't say that. I'm telling you, we're all born with the incorruptible space inside of us. And so that incorruptible space, this is how it demonstrated itself. I felt like I followed around my sister like a little puppy dog. Now she loves me now, she didn't love me then. I followed her everywhere. I loved her completely unconditionally. Like, I didn't care what she did to me.
I was like that with my brother. Yeah. So
Okay.
I understand that.
All right. So, and this was my belief system. My belief system was, I'll love you long enough, even if you abuse me, friends everywhere. Even if you abuse me, one day you'll wake up and realize how valuable I am, and you'll realize how much I love you, and you'll love me too. So to me, I think that's the incorruptible place in me. That's a place of love inside me that knows that I loved me as far as I knew how to love me. I knew that part of me.
Inherent value. You knew it was there.
I knew it was there, but I never could. But it didn't work. It just flat off didn't work. And so the world would say, and religious and church and all sorts of systems that are in place to help you understand why you feel the disc and the sage and all this stuff that whatever. It's like, go ahead. There's so much inside me that I could just burst out. It's like I knew I could love me, and I knew I loved me, and I felt like she could love me, but she was ruled by hatred. She was ruled by self-hatred, and I was ruled by self-hatred. So all I did was attract self-hatred my whole life. Even in business situations, I would attract people that did not know how to honor me back and at the time I'm like, what the hell? What's wrong with you? Hey, but even then, it's a lesson realizing, because I didn't honor me at the time. So it was like I attracted what was a reflection of myself.
Yes.
That's
how it works.
And this is how we learn. So don't let any condemnation come to you while we continue.
So I was thinking about that time of self-hatred. When I was a kid, I was pretty fond of myself. I didn't have any big hang-ups about, I was very tied to the underdog. I would go fight for the underdog. I had friends that would come and get me to help them, and that type of thing. And any injustice, I was going to remedy any injustice as a child that's happening. And then as I got older, the religious thing was like crammed down my throat. And, I was a normal teenage girl, and, I did stuff that normal teenage girls do and wasn't part of the teachings of what I was taught, And I remember thinking, oh, well, I'm just damaged goods now. I'm completely, I am no good to anybody. So at that point, my logical brain, because I'm smart, and my logical, well, hell, I can do anything I want to.
Pretty much.
I got no limits now. I'm
damaged anyway, so what the hell?
I am damaged goods. Let's go damage this some more, And I did have a wild period there, and I say that, with a joke, but it was really a self-reflection of let me suss out how damaged I really think I am. And I would go test it out, and I would really put myself in a lot of really dangerous situations that were stupid, that were not safe, and not putting myself attracting men that wouldn't honor me, and women that wouldn't honor me, and places where I wouldn't honor me, and all of those things, and I carried that for really a really, really long time, and in a lot of different ways. Younger, I was bulimic, because I felt like I had to have this kind of physique, and it was all a matter of how I looked and what external validation I would get versus just because I am inherently a human being that is valid, you know, and I didn't have that. That tape was not playing at that time. That I had to do things to be valid. I had to do things to make sure that I was okay. I had to, you know, perform. You know, I had to perform to be loved or lovable. I had to, you know, be the best, be the prettiest, be the whatever, you know. And I lived my life, you know.
Finish your health coaching in a month. I'm sorry, I'm just a joke. Performance.
Yes.
Get it done.
Underperformer. Do a PhD program in a year and a half. Yeah. That's my being you know, that person. But it was all a facade. You know, yes, I got a lot of places in life, and I had the raw talent to be able to do it. But at the same time, it was also a facade to hide the inner pain of just not
feeling good enough.
Not feeling good enough. And you know, it showed up in my marriage many times during the years because.
And you've been married a long time.
Yeah, I have. I've been married 36 years.
How old were y'all when y'all got married?
We got married when I was 22.
So y'all didn't know who you were, jack squat.
Not even a clue.
That's young.
Not even a clue. And we both we went through some things. You know,
were both pretty strong when you were young, right? Were you strong-willed at 22?
Well, I was in the throes of all of this nonsense when I was 22.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was in the throes of all this.
Did you marry someone that was in the throes of all this?
Oh yeah, heck yeah, yeah. There's no way we could have come together.
Wow.
If we wouldn't have been, because again, you have to be at the same frequency. So we were at the same frequency. And you know, God bless him. He just came from another country, dropped in from another country. And this country was hating his country, so he would actually have to hide who he was. I didn't even know he was from another country for the first month and a half we dated because he was so shameful about that. Man. And you know,
so he was hiding who he was too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So we were both hiding out, you know, and then when we got together, then all your ugliness comes up.
Idiosyncrasy.
You know, and so. You know, we did lots of things that weren't kind to each other in our first couple of years of marriage, and you know, but we were committed and we love each other very much, so we were committed, and you know, here we are 39 years later, so we've worked it out.
Are you going for is 40 this year?
No, it actually will be 39.
Okay.
But well, it'd be 36 that we're actually married this year, but we've been together. In October, it'll be 39.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah. So we've been together way longer than we've been apart. You know, and I remember when we had that year that we've been together longer. That was the tipping point. I forget which year it was, but it was the tipping point of we've been together longer
than you were alive.
Than we were alive.
Oh gosh, yes, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
So, that is, and that was surreal.
And like when his dad died, and I remember kissing him on his forehead after he passed, and thinking, I've known you longer than I haven't known you.
Oh wow.
You know, like he was in my life longer than he wasn't in my life. So it was really cool to have that realization and everything. But you know, it really took a long time to suss that out, and every now and then I see it rearing its ugly head, but now I can really recognize it, and it's not running the show. And one show we're going to do archetypes, because I think that would be very, very helpful.
That'd be fun.
And very helpful, because we have archetypes in us.
I may have to actually study for that one.
Yeah, I got a great book for you.
Okay, fun.
But maybe we can start doing Book of the Month Club or
That'd
something.
That'd be fun.
And discuss the book for one show. But anyway, the archetype of victim, almost everybody has that. Has a saboteur, and a lot of people have it. True. Everybody has a saboteur, but most people have a victim of some type. We all have an inner child. So that inner child is still has her days of throwing a tantrum and being, you know, wounded and letting that out. But for the most part, I can you know, recognize it now, and I couldn't recognize it before. It was just blindly leading and running the show. And you know, really quick in the archetypical world of, let's just say I'm going to use the B word. Let's just say, as a female, most of the time somebody say, "Oh, well, she's just a bitch." Well, to be honest with you, sometimes
You need to be a bitch.
that girl is required. And
give me an example when it would be required.
Okay, so let's say I'm a single female and I need work done on my house. And I have some contractor comes in and he says, "Okay, I can repaint your cabinets for $1,000." He says, "Great, that's my budget. Great, let's do that." And then he gets finished and everything. He hands you a bill for $2,000. Oh, it took more than and thinking I'm just a woman and I'm a dumb blonde and I'm not gonna. I go, "Oh well, hell no, we're not paying $2,000. Here's your $1,000 and you can leave." And if it escalates and you can actually, okay, girl, you up? Come on. I need her to come up.
The B world to the front.
Come on, you are on, and let her handle that. And then, okay, thank you for sharing, and you can go and have a seat. So that's how archetypes work. But the thing is that most people don't realize is that they let her come up, and then she never goes and sits down.
Oh yeah, we can have that.
Yeah, and so that happens a lot. So you being in charge, and then meeting your archetypes, and we can have a whole conversation about
That'd be fun
because it's very.
Oh, and how to use them for our advantage.
Yes, it's very, very powerful.
Oh yeah, we'll study.
And how to figure out what your archetypes are, what you came in with. But having that and having this child that's been wounded and actually nurturing that child and making sure that you do that so that they can feel that love that was missing. But having those awarenesses and knowing that about myself, it's easier now to let things just roll off my back, because it's like somebody that feels like they're a little overweight, like a female, because we've been indoctrinated
that'd be me.
Well, we've been indoctrinated.
I wear black on purpose.
That's the only beautiful woman is somebody that's stick thin, because that's
society,
that's what's been
magazines.
That's what's been programmed.
Yeah,
but it's not true. I mean, Marilyn Monroe was like a size 16, so it's not true that that's the only form of beauty. Mm-hmm. And when I went to Rome, a lot of the statues, nobody was stick thin, back then, because
true that.
And
they didn't wear clothes.
They didn't. They did not. But but let's just say that you have that inside of you, that there's something wrong with your physicality. You're a little overweight or whatever, and you have that belief. You know that's true. Like, it's just as true for you as you know your name. And 20 people can walk up to you and say, "Wow, you look really pretty today." "Oh no, I'm a little overweight." Or you'll think that in your mind. You'll dismiss what they're saying. 20 people can come up and say how cute you are, how good you look, you're so pretty, look how thin, you've lost some weight, blah, blah, blah. And then one person comes up and says, "You look like you gained a little weight." See, I told you that. And that's how our mind works, because we are out there looking for somebody that's playing the same radio station we're playing.
Yeah.
And if you're coming in with a different radio station, you won't hear it. You literally can't hear it. You can only hear the station you're playing. And the station you're playing is all of your insecurities most of the time. If you're not conscious of it, that's what's running the show. That's what's playing all the time. And if you're not cognizant of, wow, I am really playing some screechy, screamo, heavy metal BS right now. Mm-hmm. And that's all I can hear is that. And somebody comes up with a really nice, smooth jazz or a really nice classic rock, something like that, you won't hear it. It will completely bounce off of you. So being kind and loving to someone else, and it feels like it's just bouncing off of them, and you think, wow, they don't like me. They're not jiving with me. What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you. They can't hear you. They literally cannot hear you.
That's true.
Because they are in an entirely different frequency, an entirely different radio station. They can only hear what they're actually programmed and tuned into. So,
oh my, I just had this thought. Oh, I know you talked about this, is not to, but I was thinking about how I had went to work for this company, got hired on the spot. One of those things I got hired from a telephone phone commercial. No, I mean, it was crazy. But when I got there, the lady that was there told me straight up, I had been praying for someone to come and help and help. And she had been dealing with thoughts of leaving the planet for a long time. And I discerned it and began to work with her and help her. And I'm young, like I'm a kid at this point, you know, but ended up taking her to a service actually where someone actually did literally deliver her from all that junk. It was definitely that 5% that is the wrong space. My point is, because of that was happening in her, that was such a strong place of hatred. Do you know that that company was plotting and planning her demise? And it ended up becoming a legal thing and all sorts of things that took place.
Wow.
And God actually took me out of there.
Wow.
And but I all of a sudden I saw it. I'm like, that was that frequency, her frequency that she was riding on, which was me, which is what leaving the planet is all about. Me. Also caused other people to say, oh, how can I use her to get what we want? Which is me, what they were wanting, somebody to take a fall. It ended up not taking place, but it was after a long period of time of having to prove all this, that, and the other, and all the things were in place. It was quite something. It was like a book that needs to be like published, you know.
Wow.
But I see it. Think about the practicality of the frequency world and the attraction and the living it out, and who are we with and who are we not with, and maybe who we're not with is who we need to not be with.
Right, and it would be surprising to me if you're not noticing. You know, there's no accident you're watching this show. The folks that end up here are in a spiritual awakening.
Yes,
no doubt about it. You would not have you wouldn't have made it to this many episodes.
No,
even if you
true
just
that.
Even if you just happen on and you keep watching for more than 5 minutes, then you're on some awakening, because we put the call out before we get on camera to have people show up we can help.
Yes.
You know, and that we can speak to. You know, our heart can speak directly to your heart. So if you're here, you're having that awakening. And so, you know, there might be some confusion inside of that awakening, but it's still happening. And if you're having that, and then you say, well, I started this and then my world just started falling apart. My husband left me, you know, I got fired from my job and all that.
Yeah.
Yay. Because what's happening is you're oscillating higher, and all that stuff can't be at this level. So things are going to start falling off. Hence, 2 or 3 shows ago, talking about 18 people died in my life that you know, was no longer able. I was no longer able to hold those people in my circle anymore, for whatever reason. You know, not like they're bad or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm saying our oscillation levels were different at some point, and sometimes it's for, you know, reasons of you know, I'll never know, you know, because we're all sovereign beings and we can actually choose.
Yeah, there are divine reasons sometimes. It's not always a high-low thing.
Yes, it's not. Well, there's actually no high-low. You know, it's the way I like to think about it is we're all on the same track, like it's a train, and let's say the kindergartners are in the front, and or the seniors are in the front and the kindergartners in the back. Are the seniors any better than the kindergartners? No, they're just farther along up the track. That's it. There's nothing good or bad, right or wrong. You're better, you're worse. None of that. So if you hear anything, hear that from me. That's not what we're talking about at all.
No, we're not.
But there's also, you know, your tribe, and then not your tribe. And just because you're not in my tribe doesn't mean my tribe's good and your tribe's bad.
That's right.
I'm not saying that. It's literally chocolate and vanilla and strawberry and also
and peach,
luscious pralines and cream.
Oh, you got a vice going on.
I do. I have a little bit of a problem.
There you know.
First step's admitting you have a problem. So I love me some pralines and cream. I will admit it right here.
Now I know.
But just saying that it's not uncommon to experience that, especially in the beginnings of this,
making a change.
Of this awakening and choosing your life and really getting that you're choosing your life. When things just start happening and to you, you're not choosing your life consciously. You're still choosing it because no choice is still a choice. But being conscious about your choice and saying, you know, that works for me, I'm going to do more of that, or I'm going to attract more of that, or that does not work for me. And that person in my life doesn't work for me anymore, and I can love them from afar. And that's what you have to do, is love people from afar sometimes. I had a pretty good friend that everybody, it's funny, a lot of my friends, other people say are crazy. Like I attract that eccentric kind of personality because I'm an eccentric personality as well. I just hide it a lot of the time. But she knows I'm just as crazy as the next person. But I had a friend that a lot of people couldn't stand her because she was very, very out there. But I really got her. We really jived. And I knew at some point she would blow the relationship up because that's just what she did. She blew relationships up.
She couldn't handle being loved, probably.
No, 100% that's what it was.
I know.
100% that's what it was. And she is an eternal victim. Like she had some really horrific things happen to her. She had probably 5 major events that happened in her life that would have taken out one person. I always admired her strength. I always admired her strength and her fortitude and tenacity and all that. But she was difficult.
She was something.
Yeah, she was difficult.
Oh, we have 1 minute left.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
So
we're
anyway,
gonna keep going to another show. This is good stuff.
She ended up blowing the relationship up, and I was very sad. But I still send love to her all the time.
Yeah.
And I can't. She can't be in my circle anymore. She just can't. But I still, I miss.
Still love her from afar.
I do. I love her from afar, and sometimes you might have to love some folks from afar.
That's right. And love yourself. And anyway, we bless you. We thank you for joining us. It's always an honor to be with you. We don't take it for granted. Thank you for being a part of our lives, and thank you for letting us be a part of yours.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining Your New Day with Donna Reiners and Dr. Kami Owen. We look forward to seeing you next time. Remember, we solve all the world's problems, or maybe just one, and maybe it's yours. Until soon.